Shh.
To embark on this earthquake journey, okay? And Mr. Clifford has been kind enough to come in. He's going to get us started. And he's going to get you guys thinking a little bit about earthquakes, but not only earthquakes, but also maybe get some information about earthquakes. Not just earthquakes. You can use this information to find stuff out about everything. So, Clifford is.
So, it's good to see everybody. I'm surprised that, so for most of you I see on occasion, but it's been a year really, and like your faces have changed quite a bit in the span of 1 year. Except yours, still beautiful, Sam.
Still hard. Calm heart had helped me as a religion.
So, now, it's a good way, though, for me to come visit. My purpose here serves, well, there's a couple purposes. One, I am still in the process of my own education. I'm getting a master's degree in library science and information technology. And so as part of that, you have to do student teaching. And you have to, film a couple of courses. So you guys can be movie stars in a very small way. But the other part for me is to come back and just kind of do a refresher and see what you remember from our days in media literacy so long ago. So we're going to talk about information, but we're going to do it in the context of science and your new unit. So Mr. McGall is going to handle the kind of science stuff and some of that earthquake stuff, and I'll handle the information part. So now, if you would, same rules apply. You want to make sure that you're not touching things, otherwise you're going to lose your privileges when it's time to use the computer thing. So, to begin, let's see. I made a little slideshow for you. Earthquakes. Everything you ever wanted to know about them, and how you can find it fast. Alright? My goal is to make sure that, A, you guys know where to find information and how to sort through it, both effectively and efficiently. Right? And so that's really what we're going to be talking about today. Well, how do we make that happen? So, let's take a look. So, let's talk about earthquakes first. What do you know, or what do you think you know about earthquakes? This is a very important question, right? Because what it means is we're going to indulge our curiosities, right? And you guys are going to kind of figure out, well, what do we know? And then the next step, yeah.
Well, they are basically if they don't happen mostly in places that are near fault lines, so places like California.
Okay.
Lots of earthquakes. And basically they are ripples of just energy, kind of.
All right. So
destroy stuff.
good. Thank you, Joey.
Me? Mostly they're made by the two plates sliding past each other.
What kind of plates? Dinner plates?
Transform them. Or crustal plates.
All right. Good. There's another word. Begins with T.
Tectonic plates.
Nice, Sam Nelson. Good.
And wait, can I go?
Yeah.
And when tectonic plates slide past each other, sometimes they slip faster than when they normally are moving, and so it creates a big jolt.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. All right. And so when those two rub against each other, you've got that friction, of course, because we're talking about pretty big land masses. Yes. Excellent. What do we call that? Does anybody know how they rate earthquakes? What that scale is called? Starts with an S.
Seismic.
Oh, seismic. Yeah. Nice. Tell me your name.
Trinity.
Hi, Trinity. How are you? We didn't get a chance to meet last year. Welcome to Trumansburg. Let's see. Anybody else? What do you know about earthquakes? Have we ever had an earthquake here in New York State?
Yes, but they're so small scale. They were small when I was in Florida.
Yes, they were small. In fact, Mr. Miguel, I recall, in fact, I was in this very room the last time we had an earthquake in New York State, and it was very, very subtle. And I had a cabinet in the back, and the cabinet was rattling. And I thought that, all right, somebody's playing a joke on me. And I went over it, and I just watched it. I could see it vibrate a little bit, right? Tiny little tremor. Sam?
Wait, was that 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes.
Was the fault line in Virginia?
I think it was. I don't remember. remember exactly.
I was in Washington, D.C. when that happened.
Oh, yeah? I think, and it was definitely more significant there. Yeah, and I remember seeing, now that you mention it, seeing things on the news about Washington, and there was a little bit of damage. In fact, there was damage to the Washington Monument as a result.
Oh, yeah.
Nice work. Good connection. Good connection. Yeah, right. So as it moves away from the, anybody know? Sylvan.
Epicenter.
Epicenter, right? The epicenter of the earthquake. As it moves away, think about when you throw a pebble into a pond, right? And you see all those ripples moving away. Well, that's exactly what's happening with those waves. So, now, question is, that's what we know. What do we want to know about? And again, it's a very important question, right? Because we want to let our curiosity guide our research. So, Brian, what do you want to know about earthquakes? All right. That's a very large question. Thank you, Sam.
I would like to know how to predict them.
I think a lot of people, it would be very, very useful. If you can figure out that, Sam, you're probably going to be a very wealthy man, right? How to prevent them? Yeah, can we prevent them? Good. That's it. Another great question, right? If we have a serious earthquake here, California, they probably have earthquake training, like we have fire drills, right? I've never had an earthquake drill, but I'd be very interested to know, just in case. Thank you, Paul.
Actually, this is connection to that. I was in California a few weeks ago. I saw earthquake roots and tsunami roots, like on the street signs.
All right, and that, I wonder if they've always been there, or if that's a product of the earthquake in Japan. Yeah, I think San Francisco, and the citizens of San Francisco, there's a very real concern that they could have one like
I
that.
was in San Francisco. I was there with 2%. They said there are actually earthquake drills in schools.
Oh, really? I'm not surprised. Good, thank you. I like that. First-hand experience.
I was wondering when the next big earthquake would be, where it would be.
Good question. Good question. Yeah, a lot of great questions. So, Shane? All right, you got it. Let's see. So, now, we've got some questions. We need some answers. Where do we look for that information? Let's see. Dante?
Books.
Books. Excellent. Joey?
The internet.
Excellent. Good. Paul?
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Excellent.
Textbooks.
Yeah, absolutely. Great example. National Geographic. Google.
Local people around your area.
Nice. I hadn't thought about that. First-hand accounts, right? Primary sources.
Reddit.
Maybe. I don't know much about Reddit. So, let's see. Thank you, Ellie. Your parents, sure, right? That's something maybe might have some experience. Well, let's see. I think all of that is correct, right? Those are all potential sources.
Can I ask my dog?
Now, your dog may not be able to tell you, but there's many people who think that
dog can predict
animals can predict earthquakes, right?
Yeah,
That they might be more sensitive to that.
That's what happened to my dog. I started asking strange.
That might be one of the questions we need to start asking, right? Good. Thank you, Trinity. All right.
I need a dog.
So, Google, right? Google for many of us is kind of our first option when we're looking for information, right? If I were to type in earthquakes, how many hits do you think I might get? I don't think I know your name. Pardon? Brian. All right. Brian, what do you think? We're going to type in earthquakes. You can come in.
like a
Couple
couple 100,000.
100,000? Sure. Billions. That's a lot of results. Let's see here. What do you think, Devin?
Maybe like 1 or 2 million.
1 or 2 million?